Yeah, yeah. It's player partner IQ, man. I'm back. This time I'm back with a story time, man. And as you can tell by the title, man, this one's a doozy, bro. I've literally forgot about this, but I was just watching something and it reminded me, man. This shit was like some of the most top five, like besides like some violence I seen and top five most craziest shit I seen when I was in prison, bro. Um, okay. So towards I guess the end of my bid, I probably had about like 8 to 6 months left, maybe a year, let's say I had a year left, right? Till I go home. All right, so I'm in the dorm. I stay in the dorm we stay in is 100 people. You know what I'm saying? There's 100 people, and so that means it's 50 cells, 25 down bottom, 25 up top, right? Okay. Um, in jail there are. If you've seen that story time I did way back about my cellie who told me that he got sexually assaulted, I don't want to use the wrong words. I don't want YouTube to. I just caught another strike today from. I don't even want to talk about that. But yeah. So about that, if you've seen that one, go back on my timeline. It's called. I don't even want to say it. I might need to change the title, but it's type in butter on my search my channel. Type in butter, and you can see the story I'm talking about. But this guy. All right. So look. In the dorm, right? So you got three. You got like maybe. Hold on. No, I want three. It might have been like one or two gay guys or something, right? But everybody knew they was gay. It's just a known thing. Like in prison, you pretty much know who's who. You got like the thug, you know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna tell y'all more. You got the homo thugs. You got the down low thugs, homo, but they down low, and then you got the straight flamboyant, boys, as they call them. So funny story, like when we find out somebody a boy, or if we like somebody come new in the pod, remember that Wiz Khalifa song? We them boys. We'll be like, that's a boy. Like, oh my God. That shit was hilarious. We used to always, anytime you hear that, nobody really knew what it meant except for the ones that knew. That's a boy. Hold on. So but in the pod you had a couple like homo thugs or whatever. You had one guy who was serving a life sentence. Let's just call him. I really don't even remember that nigga name. I have to think about it, but let's just call him DC. He was from the Washington DC area. And everybody knew. He had been locked up for so long that everybody knew what type time he was on. You know what I'm saying? Everybody knew. But he was tatted up and tall dude too. Dude had to be 6'8". He won't no little, you know what I'm saying? This is a big dude. He won't like super cut up, but he won't no skinny, you know what I'm saying? If just by looking at him, you probably wouldn't even think that but he didn't hide it. You know what I'm saying? Everybody knew that he was into that. He was, you know what I'm saying? But he wasn't acting like a girl. He was like a homo thug or whatever, if you know what that means. And I hope I can say that, but I don't think there's nothing wrong with saying homo thug. So then one day, a new boy comes into the pod. It's a white guy, right? You can kind of tell he's a boy by the way he's walking and his mannerisms and shit like that, right? You can just tell. And then other people knew him also. He had been locked up for a minute. I don't know what he was locked up for, but he had been locked up for a minute or whatever. Maybe like 10 years or 8 years or something like that. And he didn't have life though. If I'm not, I don't think he had life. No cap. I don't think he had life. And he was ready to go home, I believe. I believe he was ready to go home. So he comes to the pod. So DC, he down on him. And by down on him, I mean that he's trying to get him. You know what I'm saying? I used to hear him talking. Yeah, I'm gonna get him in my cell. I'm gonna get him in my cell. That's gonna be my boy. And I used to be like, all right, dude. You know what I'm saying? If we like doing like a little deal, cause I do a deal with dude. Like if he got if he needed to buy something from me, or if he had something that I needed, whether it was some food, I would never borrow nothing, but I'd trade. We'll borrow, I'll buy some shit, and vice versa. Hey, money I don't discriminate against money. But yeah, he started talking like that. I'm like, yo, whatever, dude. So he ended up getting the boy in his cell, right? He gets the boy in his cell. Me and my niggas used to call the boy, to describe what he looked like, we used to call him Homer Simpson. He was a white dude. He wasn't yellow, but he was like a white dude with the bald head, with the little thing like this. So kind of chubby a little bit. So we called him Homer Simpson. Like we never talked to him, but we'd be like, oh, Homer Simpson. You know what I'm saying? So they end up getting the sale together. They got a sale. I guess they sell change requests, and so now they're dating, right? Quote unquote, they're dating. It's weird. It's a weird place, man. I'm telling you, sick. So they in the sale, they dating in the sale for like, they're sellies for like maybe 4 months or something like that. It was like a nice little run, like 4 months or something like that. Somehow I can't quite remember what happened, but DC gets in trouble and they send him to the hole. Because once you go to the hole, it's no guarantee that you are coming back to that sale. Period. You don't know what time you leave in the hole, what day, none of that. So when DC gets took to the hole, it was this other cat I knew. Let's call him NC, because he was from North Carolina. He was supposed to be a blood. He ended up getting exposed by some Crips. They beat his ass at school, and he ain't fight back. Well, no, it was one dude punched him in his face. I had just got there. I left school early, so I didn't see it. But niggas was telling me on the way back to the when they came back, it was like, yeah, you know, NC got dude punched him, Crip dude punched him. He didn't even do shit. He was saying something like, bro, it was some little funny catchphrase he was saying, and he was trying to say that niggas jumped him, but it really was just one dude. And he wasn't no big super swole dude. I think dude was from Richmond too. So, you know, he was in there. He was a short timer. He was in there for like, he only had like 4 or 5 years. He was nearing the end of his bid. He probably had like another 1.5 or 2 years past me. You know what I'm saying? But he was nearing the end. You know what I'm saying? So once he got exposed, whatever. So I guess he was his gang. After he got exposed, he had his gang under his eye tatted. They made him cover it up with a cloud with lightning bolts. We used to call that nigga Storm or so. We used to get on that nigga ass, bro. So he was telling us and shit. I'll tell another story about him, but he had a baby mama. He had 4 daughters. You know what I'm saying? He had a baby mama, and that's a whole nother story. He told me some wild shit about that and showed me some wild shit with his baby mama type shit was on. But so out of nowhere, I guess he turned, you know, now he's a homo thug out there. Whole time he probably been down low. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I ain't really know the nigga. I really didn't like the nigga. I was gonna fight the nigga. Actually, I tell y'all on another video about that story. You know, but he ain't want no smoke or whatever. So next thing I know, he pops up in the cell with old boy, with Homer Simpson. You know what I'm saying? The one that was just in the cell with DC, right? Keep in mind, DC been locked up for like 20 years down there. He was still fairly young. He was like 38, 39, but he had been locked up for a minute. So he had been engaging in this type of activity for a minute, and probably he was doing it on the streets too. So NC is in the cell with Homer Simpson, DC's ex-boyfriend. So you know what that means. They in the cell together. You know what I'm saying? And we used to make jokes to him, and he never denied it. He'd just like, oh my God, bro, like for real? That's how you rock it? We know, I mean, I know you got kicked out the gang and you can't use a bitch, but damn, you's a bitch for real. So DC is in the hole still. He's sending kites back through workers and cafeteria workers and laundry workers and all type of shit saying, yo, that's my boy. Tell that nigga NC to get out the cell. You know, I'm down to stab behind. I'm down to kill behind. Crazy shit. They fighting over a dude, and this is the weirdest shit. This one I was like, yo, this is one of the times also I was like, yo, I'm never coming back to this. This is the grossest place on earth. I can't do this shit. This ain't for me. I got something to live for. I like women. I can't do this. I don't even want to hear about this and be around it. So he sent it. So NC is just laughing it off. Man, whatever. Ain't gonna do nothing. All right, boom. Fast forward. So DC never came back, right? So, but he's in the hole, and when we go out for rec yard and go out for lunch, he can yell down, "Hey yo!" Like you can't see him, but you can hear him yelling from one of the whole building. He yelling like a motherfucker. So we walking I think we walking to Chow one day, which is lunch, Chow. So it's like fucking 100, 200 of us. It's like people from another pod another building come back on this side. It's like us going to Chow. There's a gate in between. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of fucking people out there. It's like 200-300 people out there, bitch, including officers and all that. Yo, out of nowhere, yo, we hear DC out the window. You can tell his voice. He out the window. He's like, hey, And everybody like, what? And some niggas, they cool with him, like, so they yell like, what's up, man? Da, da, da. He's like, hey, tell whoever. He knew who was messing with Homer Simpson, though. He definitely knew. He was trying to be subliminal. He was trying to be funny. He was like, tell whoever messing with Homer that they got AIDS, because I got AIDS and Homer got AIDS. And NC is right there in front of me, bro. I mean, everybody on the whole yard heard this shit, bro. It was no mistaking what he said, bro. And he won't laughing or nothing. And he was DC was a dirty ass nigga. Like, you could just tell, he just grimy slime. Yeah, he was like really on that type time, bro. Like, he wasn't walking around raping, but he didn't care. Like, and they don't got no condoms in jail. And then if you look at Homer Simpson, he kind of did look funny. You know what I'm saying? Like, he had like dark spots under his eyes. He used to go get these drinks. Only a few people get like Ensures, these certain type drinks. For people that, you know what I'm saying? The only time you get them drinks is if you get shot the fuck up, or if you got cancer, or, you know what I'm saying? So like, niggas just froze. It was like everybody froze. And I look at NC, he just like, what? He just, his fucking heart, you can see his heart drop through his eyes, bro. Like, boom. Like, I'm like, everybody, we fucking shocked. Like, oh my God. And I think that was low key like a rumor with DC. If I'm not mistaken. I remember that was kind of a rumor going around that he had that shit from doing other shit. He was on other prison compounds. He been around. You know what I'm saying? And he was fucking with other people that allegedly, you know what I'm saying, had contracted that shit or whatever. Yo, when I say this nigga NC just looked like he died. And then so to sum up the story, so then we get to the chow hall. I come over there to trade some food with one of NC's homeboys. He over there telling me something. He talking to his homeboy like, no, they laughing and shit. Well, he's not laughing. His people at the table laughing. And he come over there and they're like, bro, tell Q. I'm like, well, I just come to get like cornbread, whatever I was trading off the tray. Definitely not with NC though. I'm like, he like, oh no, he said, man, look, shut up, I'll tell. He said, man, this nigga NC telling me something, look at me, do I look sick? Like, they're literally laughing at him, bro. And this shit, I know he was fucking terrified, bro. Like, oh my God, bro, that was the craziest shit, bro. Like, I'm telling y'all, man, stay the fuck out of prison, jail, all that shit. Even if you're not on that type of time. I mean, I don't even want to be around shit like that. That is crazy, bro. And I believed it. Nobody, I didn't go to the doctor with him or nothing, but yeah, it made sense. And then I heard other stories about, like, somebody had told me that when DC and Homer was in the cell, that one of them Homer came to somebody else and was like, man, I had a dream that I was sick. Me and DC was sick. And I don't know, bro. It was too 100 to be, the way, the conviction in his voice. Tell that nigga, and I said, anybody who fuck with Homer, y'all got AIDS, because I got AIDS and Homer got AIDS. And such note, like, he was stamping that shit. I was like, wow. He was already about to get transferred type shit. I was like, oh. And you should have seen NC face, bro. I kind of felt sorry for him, bro. Even though he knew what you was doing, you fuck around like that. You know what you're doing. I was just like, damn, bro, you getting out soon, like. But yeah, man, that's a story time, bro. That shit was the craziest shit, bro. That shit was crazy. And bro had a baby mama. He had 5 years. 4 years. He had four daughters. Like, damn, my nigga. Y'all let me know what y'all think about that, man. Have you ever heard something about that? Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know y'all thoughts on that. That's top 5 craziest shit that I've seen and experienced in jail. You know what I'm saying? I was like, well, prison. I was like, yo, I'm fucking out of here, bro. I'm never coming back to this place. Until next time. Yeah.